Assalamu alaikum. This is one of the many episodes of the glorious Algerian history. Let's start this video by flying to the New World, to America, and exactly to Washington State, where we find this remote village named after our country's capital, Algiers. These are some pictures from Algiers, Washington, in the northwest of the United States. Now let's go to the southwest of the US, in California State, and exactly in the suburb of San Francisco, where we find this mountainous area named Algeria. Next, Louisiana State. In the south of it, there is New Orleans, crossed by the Mississippi River. We found this area, south of the river, named Algiers Point. South of this point is all named Algiers. As for the northeast, we find in Ohio State a village named Algiers. We find in Michigan State a village with the same name. So in the US, there are 6 towns and villages named after our country like Algiers, Algiers, and Algerine. From this, I wanted to ask the question related to today's video. Our country's name is Al-Jaza'ir after its capital, the town of Al-Jaza'ir. So why does the West call it and write it as Algiers, Algiers, Algeria, Algerie, and so on? Is this only a change in the name of the country, or is there a story behind the names used by the West? We start our research with the old European books about Algeria that go back many centuries, where we found its name in their own languages and where it's written in many different forms. We found it Algiers, like here. Some wrote it Algerie with the E at the end. Some wrote it Algiers with the I. Some wrote it Algiers with IE. Algerum, Alger with the J. Argel with the G. And the list goes on. As you can see, there is a difference between the writings of Algeria, yet it is tiny. And when I researched the source of this European naming of Algeria, I found a lot of attractive stories from our glorious history. The questions I asked are the following. Which one is the right name? What is the meaning of each name? And what do the books of history say related to this topic? To better understand the questions, let's hear how Algeria is pronounced by the people from some countries in the world. We start from Bangladesh.
Algeria,
Algeria,
Algiers, Algeria,
阿尔及利亚
Algiers, Algiersko, Algeria, Algeria,
Algeria
Algérie,
Algerien
Algeria, Algiers,
الجزائر
Algeria,
Algerie
Algeria,
Argélia,
Alger
Algiersko,
Argelia
Jazair,
Alger
Al-Jaza'ir,
Anzeria.
For sure, you noticed like me that most of them are based on the sound Algeria, which is the English sound. Some tend towards Algeria and Algeria, like the Spanish and the Portuguese, and some tend towards using the sound Algerie, like France and Italy. Now let's get to know about the origin of the naming, and let's say the European naming of our country, which is today's topic. But before that, let's do another quick introduction to recall the other names of the capital of Algeria, which we have already made a video related to in our channel. Since the topic is related, let's take a quick look at it together before continuing today's topic.
We read here, from the 12th century BC, the Phoenicians were using ports on the Algerian coasts as staging ports on their trading route on many coastal cities like Algiers that they named Ikosim. So the first recorded name in the history of the city of Algiers is Ikosim, and this is from the 12th century BC. And the city of Ikosim became Icosium. The Romans didn't change the name, but they just changed its pronunciation by adding the I and U at the end to make it easy for them. We continue to read. It was conquered and destroyed by the Vandals in the year 430. It stayed this way about 500 years till we read that Bulurin, and he was from a Berber tribe, moved to the city and rebuilt it in the year 1944 and named it Jaza'ir Beni Mazghanna, and it's the name that was abbreviated later to Al-Jaza'ir.
So this town in the 10th century got the name of Jaza'ir Beni Mazghanna, then it was abbreviated to Al-Jaza'ir until now. In regards to the source of the name Algerie, the topic is quite lengthy and it may need an hour or more to go through all the details. History gave us more than one point of view, and each one needs to be elaborated on separately. Dr. Dumir is in the process of writing a complete research related to the subject so we can give it its full historical right, and once he is done, he will publish it in a book, inshallah. We will summarize in this video the past hypotheses that were presented for this topic, and the detailed discussions and follow-up will be put in the book once it's published, inshallah. We will start from this poetic verse from an Algerian poem in 1746. The Europeans thought that the country of Algiers had no owner. And Algiers is a bleached substance used to whitewash the bottom of trees and outside walls. This means to the inhabitants of the town of Algiers that one of its names is the country of Algiers. And we know that the capital was really a country of this white paint used to whitewash the walls and tree trunks. This is well known for the people of Biskra, and it's also easily noticeable in old pictures where we see the capital with its white buildings, and this is why the French name it Alger la Blanche, or Algiers the White. So this is the first hypothesis that link the name of Algerie with Algiers, or the white paint used in Algiers. Let's put this hypothesis aside and let's explore the second one. The second one is related to the horse with one leg that has some white on it. In Arabic, it's called the Arjel horse because Rijl in Arabic means leg. The Spanish took it literally from the Arabs and named a horse with some white on one of his legs Arjel. The French took it from the Spanish and named this kind of horse Arzel to this day. The name of Algiers in Spanish matches exactly how the Spanish named this kind of horse, even though sometimes they pronounce it Arjel. The discussion and study of this hypothesis will be to search if Algiers had a history of exporting this kind of horse to Spain or Andalusia, especially that we know that the Arabs did not like Arjel horses, while on the contrary, the Europeans had some preference for them. So we have some clues with this hypothesis, and we can go further either by confirming or rejecting it. In the third hypothesis, we will get to know about a personality in the European history. His name is Alger de Liège. He is a Dutch theologian. He is also known by the other pronunciations of his name in other languages like Algiers. This person does not have any relationship with Algeria, yet he wrote many books and they got published a lot, especially during the period when Algeria was named Alger. The question for this hypothesis will be like this. Because of the literal match between his name and the name of the capital, was the popularity of his name during that period in Europe a reason for changing their pronunciation of the word Al-Jaza'ir into Alger? The fourth hypothesis has a relationship to this person. His name is Gellius Publicola and is widely known with just Gellius or Jelly. He was Rome's consul in the year 36 before Isa alayhi salam, and he was well known for his social positions. Our hypothesis is that the word Arx Jelly, that means the Tower of Jelly or Jelly's Tower, is the root of the name Argel because we know that Jelly built a tower in the city that was named that time Julius Caesarion. And from Arx Jelly, we ended up with Argeli, then Argel. Does this hypothesis prove itself as the origin of the naming of Algeria? This is a valid topic that needs to be researched. We also have an extra argument for this hypothesis. An Englishman merchant's grave was found in the capital Algiers. Written on it, "This is the grave of the Englishman William Henry from the people of Argel and who died on May 4th, 1620. And the evidence here is that they write it Argel in Latin text and very early in time. As for the fifth hypothesis, it says that there was an old tribe living in this area around the capital before it was inhabited by the Tha'aliba tribe. The name of this tribe was Beni Aggar. They traveled and settled in Andalusia and they built a city and named it Ajr. The Catalonians built a city close to Ajr and named it Algerie in Lleida province. After the fall of Andalusia, the first who settled in Algiers coming from Andalusia were the people of Ajr, Algerie, and they brought with them their Catalonian name to the city of Algiers. This is also a hypothesis that will be discussed in Dumir's book. The sixth hypothesis says that Algeria got its name from the inhabitants of south of Andalusia in Al-Jazira town. So the name of this is Al-Jaza'ir and the name of this is Al-Jazira. The Spanish named the inhabitants of Al-Jazira by Al-Jaziri, then later by Algeria. When they left Al-Jazira towards what's called now Algiers after the fall of Andalusia, the Catalonians named it Algeria the same way they named them when they were in Andalusia. The seventh and last hypothesis is simply that the European sailors had a difficulty in the pronunciation to combine the letter J and Z, and they were saying Al-Jaza'ir and Al-Jaza'ir, same way like Zanzibar, which is called up to this day Zanzibar. So they removed the sound of Z from Al-Jaza'ir and it became Algiers. This is all what was found related to the roots of naming our country. To make the video short, the analysis of each one of these hypotheses and what makes one strong or weak based on the gathered arguments will not be discussed here. All the analysis and details will be, as stated above, in the book that will be published by Dr. Tumir. I hope this was an addition to your historic knowledge. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.